Okay, let's continue where we left off here with my previous review of this series, Miss Demon Academy. Now, I had talked about basically some new characters. Basically, I'll basically introduce them while the thing goes on. So, basically, right after the class, and of course, Ados basically, and of course, Emilia is not here because she resigned in the anime. Not that she just disappeared. So, for the time being, this woman, Minnow, is in charge. And of course, like I mentioned in the last video, she's voiced by Carrie Buckland. And of course, there's a royal there who doesn't really trust, well, Anos per se. Anos does show off basically the spells they're going to be using during this. It's basically class warfare. It's like interclass warfare between this school and the Hero Academy. Yes, the Hero Academy, which they say was founded to basically create more heroes. And they get there. Now, before they leave, there's also this special elite class are basically reincarnations of previous heroes, different ages. Excuse me. And they identified them in the very same episode. They are known as the Jurga Khan. That's the name of them. Basically, they claim to be a reincarnation of Conan, but according to Anos, he's like, no. They claim to be basically just. He says they're just duds. Yeah, he claims they're duds. So basically, they basically have Ados, Sasha, Misha, Melissa, and Lei, where they have like 10 days to get to this academy, and they arrive like within like seconds. Like, she just transports there, and of course, Sasha and Ados look into school. Everyone's shopping. And of course, they get there, and this is when we run into Eleanor. Yes, Eleanor. Eleanor is the first new characters here. Eleanor is played by Abby Trott. That's who voices her. Eleanor Benica. Third year student at the Hero Academy. Yep, this is actually her debut episode. They debut also book 3 too. Yeah, and of course, she also gets to the live. They get inside and meet the hero who killed, of course, Ados. Cone. Now, what happened to him, they explained later in the episode that he was supposed to kill by a human. Ados basically has one of his 7 demon lords, which of course he does mention that about all but 3 have basically been confirmed to be not basically been restored with this episode. So it turns out that part was maybe a lie. They haven't confirmed that at all. Of course, of course he meets up the 2 of the 3 incarnations. And the 2 we have that are introduced in basically in the same episode, episode 9. We have Lerino, Oxygen, and where is the other one? Ranos Jopper, who is Big Brute. He is voiced by Matthew David Rudd. Now, Lenario, I think, glasses. And based on his mannerism, he reminds me a lot of the Lieutenant Colonel from the Saga Time Evil, who was voiced by Jen McIntyre. And this character is the same thing. Like, I don't know if they based this character on that one at all. I don't know. I mean, it's a completely different light novel series in the universe, but it's the same face. He does the same manner to like push the glasses up. He basically is very. Here he's a bit more pompous than he is basically over in the main series, and he's, let's say, very calm around the lead of the series. This one is basically a guy around his age, while in Saga Time Evil, it's a 9-year-old girl who he calls the Devil, or her nickname is actually Devil the Rhine. Yep, of course, I met Tanya's voice actress, Monica Rial. Great person to meet, by the way. Despite stuff related to her and Mick Manoia, she's a very nice person. So, basically, like, they, of course, Renos challenges him. He just blinks and his power disappears. And he's declared lost, and then of course they leave, and of course they actually lay and meet Melissa, where the fangirl's there too when they arrive there 10 days later. And of course they go on sort of a date to this fair, and of course Idols watch from a distance, and when she reveals that Lei gave her the necklace, and of course at the breaking of the proposal, like, wow, yeah, they become an actual couple, which that was quite nice. And then they started up the demonstration. Now, The perpetrator for this one, his name is Diego. Yeah, he's a jerk. But here's the strange thing about him. And, like, I didn't initially recognize who voiced. Look, I'm like, really? He voiced him? Diego was voiced by Kyle Herbert. You're thinking, wait, as in the guy who voices Adult Gohan from Dragon Ball Z and Fat Gum from My Hero Academia? Yeah, same guy. I didn't initially recognize him because he sounded way different than usual that I'm usually hearing. Of course, he also voices the Awesome Sullivan from Welcome to Demon School Irmakun. And of course, also the Hero Magic, and apparently, like, the third year student tries, basically, his name is, Revist. Yeah, he's, a royalist. And he's voiced by David Iago Jr. Let's see. Who did he voice? Let's see, aside from this series. Well, the ones I've seen, aside from this one, this is, I think, the first one I've come across where he does do the voice of work for. As far as I can tell. Yes. Because there isn't much for him at all. Because, yeah, there's literally nothing. Yeah, this is probably the... Oh, yeah. Okay, so if you're not familiar with this guy, this is the guy who voices Ferb from Phineas and Ferb. Those who familiar with the franchise know exactly what I'm talking about. In case you're curious, though, have I seen Phineas and Ferb? No, I haven't. Sadly. So, then of course, making a conversation, of course, 30 year tries, but his spell is being blocked. It's like, oh, you can't conjure a spell, and others is like, yeah, they're blocking it. So he just unlocks this, so the mouse turns into a giant creature and a plant, a partial plant, and he just destroys it very easily. It's like, yeah. The way it's shown here is that the Hero Academy is trying to prove that the Demon Academy are a bunch of weaklings by cheating. Yeah, and then of course they start the main competition day one, and of course our team tries to participate, but the royal left side said, yeah, he thinks that, well, a misfit should represent the academy. We're like, oh, let us royalists basically represent, not a hybrid. Yes, he's one of those people who are bigoted toward hybrids. So then of course they tried their siege and they fail miserably because the Hero Academy cheats again here. Thanks to lacing this lake with holy water. And of course, like, oh, they're infected with this thing. I was like, oh, there's no way to heal it. They're going to die anyways. I was just like, nope, they're not going to die. Heal. That's it. And then we have the Year 2 students basically like, why don't we start the real competition? Let's do round 2 without this freaking lake. And of course, they get rid of the lake. And by the way, Eleanor is missing. They don't say where she is. So, by the way, they also introduced in episode 10, we're introduced to Henan Lorg, who they actually do not give a credit for his English dub actor for some reason. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird why they don't give him a name, like a voice actor. Like, there's no credit anyways, not that I've seen. Yeah. So basically, like, then the episode ends with them beginning their round 2, and we see in the ruins, possibly looks like Eleanor under hypnotism. It's like, oh, so use that, and is it Eleanor? Well, we'll find out in the very next episode. We'll discuss that tomorrow. But I am still enjoying this series. I am 10 episodes in. There is exactly about 9 more episodes left to go, and I'm thinking it's a definite tomorrow, because I don't think I have time to do it tonight. So tomorrow, I will effectively cap up season 1 for the series. Yep. When am I get to season 2? When I finish up book 22 of ReZero. Yeah, I'm reading this book now. I am only currently about 26 pages. This is only a 232 page book, so it depends. It just how it depends on how long it takes me right after I finish watching these episodes to discuss that one. Yes, and the next bit's going after is That Time of Occurrence is Slime. I've been reading that while basically reading the manga for my next anime we discuss, which I will not discuss it here. I'll discuss that when I finish the series up. But yeah, still enjoyable series. Can't wait to discuss the rest. Okay, so that's it. I would do another video, but I got a stream to do in about 6 minutes, so I'll see you all later. Bye.